Alrighty ho, y'all. We are live on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. Even if you yourself are not religious, I pray from the bottom of my heart that you and your family are blessed in many ways. As the Bitcoin price is in Chop City after a torrential downpour on Friday, where we saw massive amounts of liquidations coming down on some exchanges, close to 20% since last Monday. Guys, I gotta remind everybody to smash up the dang likes, because if we can get 1,000 likes in the first half hour, you know we will be giving away 1,000 USDT. Also, guys, we're gonna be giving away $250 if this can get if they can get 100 retweets on Twitter. All right, all you got to do is retweet this tweet, and if 100 people can do it before the end of the stream, man, we are gonna be giving away $250. So we're trying to give away like $1,250. All you have to do is like and retweet. Pretty amazing, right? My goodness, wow, my voice gets higher and higher the more I talk about it. Why? I don't know. Maybe I've sold my balls for likes and subs. That's what happens to us YouTubers. Oh my goodness. Now, as you can see over here on KCEX, best deal on fees, 0% limit, 0.01% market. The short trade from the exact top, which was given in advance in the Casper crew, which I let the community know I was taking, is still up and open about, well, this is a 25x leverage trade, so the percent doesn't matter, but we've locked in about 20 grand, about 20,000 USD tizzle. Still have 5,700 in the open position. Also, still in that long trade from Friday. All right, still in the long trade as well from Friday on that crazy wick. All right, so these are my open Bitcoin positions right now, guys. And I'm going to be talking about what I think could be happening within the next few days, weeks, months, years, decades. We did have some very interesting news yesterday. Chair Powell, man of the owl, came out and basically said, we're going to end quantitative tightening. We're going to end quantitative tightening, which is actually quite bullish in the long term for risk assets like Bitcoin. However, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to go straight to the moon. Now, I have pulled up here on the chart some very, very, very important levels, and these are the levels that we need to pay attention to. Make sure to smash the likes, make sure to smash the subscribe button, and we got to give a major shout out to everybody in the chat. First of all, a major, huge, large, and big shout out to Liberty and Trust, also worthless coins, brother. Shout out to the Contrary Trader who says Jay Owl. Major shout to Joe Potter. Major shout out to Crypto Builders Keep. Time to look for longs after all the wreckage clears. Easy scalping. This has been Chop City, to be honest with you. This has not been easy scalping even. I mean, there was one easy scalp to take, honestly, if you longed the golden pocket after the first drop. Orhan sees a head and shoulder pattern on Jason Casper. Yeah, I see that too. Shout out to Jers. Shout out to DataStream. Shout out to Crypto Pleb. Chopfest today. Shout out to Pack Bandits. He says, give us the sauce, Mr. Casper. Well, you know me. I'm always full of the sauce. Shout out to Orhan. He says, no, nice deltoid. You've been hitting that 3D deltoid workout or what? Nope. I literally do like one set of like whatever this is called a week. One set, that's it. All right. Shout out to John Blake. Shout out to JP Golfing. I got a new layer 1 coin at 40M. Oh, he's got a little moon bag up in here. That's what's up. Shout out to Crazy Waffles 5150. Bullish September for everyone. Let's hope. Yeah, this is gonna be a bullish September, guys. Let's go, baby. Why thump down? Question mark. Thump down. Shout out to Baby Superman. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish in the chat. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. Shout out to Fico. Shout out to Baby Superman again who says Jesus is King. Amen. Major shout out to Steak Sauce in the chat. Guys, major shout out to everyone who's sick of all the shout outs. Major shout out to everyone who's sick of all the shout outs. Got to shout out again Splashfire Films. Got to shout out Hasnain from Pakistan. Got to shout out Janaro Mena. He says, what's good, gangsters? All the gangsters in the house, put a 1 in the chat if you're feeling good and you're a gangster. All right, feeling good as a gangster? Put a numero uno in the chat, baby. All right, cool. Uh-oh, whoops. Look at that, man. Can't even operate a dang computer. All right. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. Let's pop right into the Bitcoin chart here, okay? First of all, I think that right now, like I said on Monday, we have something that has happened on Friday, which has the potential to be extremely bullish, but it also has the potential to be extremely bearish. Now, there's a lot of talk out there about whether or not the 4-year cycle is broken or not. Whether or not the 4-year cycle is broken. And if anybody doesn't know, what is the 4-year cycle? Well, essentially 500 days after the Bitcoin halving, the Bitcoin price tops out and we enter into a year-long bear market. A year-long bear market, right? This happened in 2021, 500 days after the halving, we entered into a year-long bear market from November 2021 until November 2022, we were in a downtrend. Now, here's something that's very important to remember. These bear markets, they feel longer than they really are. Why? Well, because there's a lot of hype and a lot of people buy the tops historically, right? Historically, a lot of people buy the tops. And so, if you buy here, you're not feeling good about that investment until here. All right? So if you buy the top, you got to wait 1,180 days before you're like, hey, you know what? I knew I should have bought Bitcoin. But in reality, the bear markets are quite short. They last about a year. And the bull markets are quite long. I consider the bull market since January 2023. And so far, that's been about 1,000 days of bullishness on Bitcoin. So we've had 3 times the amount, I guess you could say, of bullish uptrend since downtrend. Which means this, even if the 4-year cycle is broken, so to speak, all right, who's to say that we still can't get a bit of a pullback in 2026 after 1,000 days of pure upside? Now, I don't know, but here's kind of what I'm thinking. If, let's say, we get a new Federal Reserve chairman at the beginning of the year, which I believe we will, and they say, you know what, no more quantitative tightening. We have official financial policy shifting. Typically when this happens, well, things stay stagnant for a little while, right? Things stay stagnant for a little while. That could actually allow us to get a bit of a pullback on Bitcoin. Still honor the 4-year cycle. But then, of course, because quantitative tightening is ending and potentially even quantitative easing beginning, then we could see another big push to the upside. And by the time it's all said and done, what do you know? It took about a year. It took about a year. I mean, people forget how short time is in crypto. You know, it's crazy to think that, you know, when Trump won the election almost a year ago, that's crazy. It's been a whole year since Trump. In my mind, he just won. I mean, in my mind, he just won. Right? We call this Bitcoin range the Trump range because this is what happened after Trump wins the election. We pump up, and now we're trading above $100,000, right? So it's just something to bear in mind. Now, when we look at our monthly chart right now, actually, let's even start on our 2-monthly chart. The 2-monthly chart in half a month is going to be printing a red dot. All right, let's go to the index here. Let's Bybit. Where's the index? Here we go. The last time we printed the red dot on the 2-month time frame, the last 2 times we printed the red dot, it was the top. All right, it was the top. The last 2 times we printed the red dot on the monthly time frame. All right, once that red dot confirms, either the top is already in or the top is about to be in. All right, we go to the monthly time frame, and what do we see? We see multiple drive of bearish divergence on the monthly here. Right, the monthly continues to get lower. Every time we make a new high, right? 70K and then up to 100K and up to 126K, the monthly momentum continues to get lower. We go to the 2-week. What do we see? Oh, wow. Bearish divergence, right? The dreaded upside down Sam Bankman-Fried bearish man boob pattern. As the price is getting higher and higher into key resistance, the man boobs are getting lower and lower. It's like asking out a girl. You're gathering your courage to ask her out. You think you're going to ask her out? Nope, she's out of my league. Okay, yeah, I'm going to ask her out. Oh, no, I don't have the balls. Finally, you ask her out. And of course, what happens? Well, she rejects you. Why? She's out of your league. Right? The writing was on the man boobs. You saw it happening already. Don't be surprised. Right? So we're seeing that now on the 2-week. Now we come down to the 2-day, and what are we seeing? We are seeing money flow coming out. We are seeing momentum getting lower as the price is struggling to make higher highs. Now, we're just being objective here. This breakout, ever since we broke out of $108,000, it's been tough. It's been tough for Bitcoin. Now, I have here, this is the 200-day moving average on the chart. All right, you can see it's a very, very, very important moving average for the entirety of this bull market. Anything below the 200-day moving average has actually been a place to buy in this bull market. And then, of course, the bear market is marked by basically the loss and the back test and the drop, right? So you can see in our last drop here, we did wick into that 200-day moving average. And so this is a very, very important line level area on the chart that we do not want to see lost. All right. Now, when we come back to the Bybit chart here, I want to point out a few interesting things. Okay. Thing number one is the fact that the Bitcoin price has closed a pretty damning, am I allowed to use that word on YouTube? Weekly candle below the value area high of the range. And we're 4 days away from closing another weekly candle below the value area high of the range. This means probabilistically, that we could see a move down to the $92,000 to $97,000 zone, where Bitcoin has been historically considered fair and undervalued since Trump won the election. Okay, so if we start to lose this 200-day moving average, I think we could be vacuum sucked down to $93-ish, $96-ish thousand. Now, once we're down here, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's something that we do need to be aware of, because when you have bearish divergences on the chart, and those bearish divergences on the 2-day have confirmed, and the weekly will confirm again in another 4 days, and the 2-month will confirm in 15 days, when you have these high time frame bearish divs like that, and you're losing the value area high with weekly closes, you have to be prepared. At least prepare yourself for scenarios like, what am I going to do if Bitcoin does dump? So the first thing I would say is this: if the bull run is going to continue, notice the pattern. When we lose the 200-day moving average, we get a little bit of time. And when I say a little bit of time, this is the weekly time frame. So actually, we get a lot of time. All right. 70 days, that's like almost 2 months. That's more than 2 months. Over here, you know, another 70 days, 2 months, give or take, below that level. Over here, we had about just like a month and 3 weeks below that level. This is what that means. If the bull run, if the uptrend is going to continue here, and we do confirm these bear divs, and we spend some time down at, let's say, like the low 90s, mid to low 90s, okay, this is actually going to be the time to really be looking for that big swing long position, because not only is it the value area low of the range, but it's also the Fibonacci golden pocket. All right, now let's go ahead and pull some other fibs here. I'm just very curious, you know, I'm very curious. If there's one thing people know about Jason Casper, is that he's very curious. He's a curious guy. He's like Curious George, all right? It's like Curious George the monkey. He's always getting himself into trouble out of curiosity. I'm just trying to see here if there's any other key fib levels that we need to be aware of. Man, there are some pretty interesting fib levels here. Nothing too crazy to write home about. Something else I want to look at right now also, guys, is I want to look at where the volume has been. All right, so let's take a look at some VWAPs here. We'll look at the VWAP of the uptrend. Very, very, very interesting. From the bear market low to our current price, the volume weighted average price is a back test of $65. And when I say 65, that's actually a Freudian slip, because secretly I'm thinking Bitcoin goes down to $65, but I really mean $65,000. Wow. Now look at this. If we take the anchored VWAP from August 2024 to our present day, that volume weighted average price is lining up perfectly with this key zone underneath the 200-day moving average in the low to mid 90s. All right, this is going to be an area of intense market decision making, where, you know, people are going to be looking at this and thinking to themselves, you know, this really could be the time to buy. All right. Now, this gives us another clear line in the sand here, right? The 200-day moving average, clear line in the sand. We lose it, we should expect to hang out there for a little bit and dip down a little bit more. If we lose the low 90s, okay, then I think it becomes pretty clear that the next area of support is going to be the back test of these highs once again from the previous all-time highs. All right, so we're talking about around $65,000, where we have many confluences, okay? In fact, if we just zoom out and we look at this chart here, we can see, wow, this is actually a really nice support resistance flip. Isn't that beautiful? Resistance, breakout, and then back test. And by the time we're back testing this, the volume weighted average price of the entirety of the bull run is going to be right down here as well. All right. So these are some potential areas, I think, if we're going to see 2026 open up bearishly. All right. 2026 open up a bit bearishly. Now, there's some other things to keep in mind, because again, it's the argument. Has the Fourier cycle been killed by BlackRock and by ETFs and all this? I'm not going to sit here and say I believe one or the other, because honestly, I don't know. I always lean towards the trend is your friend until the end. But also, there's a pretty good case to be made that this time is different based on fundamentals. And actually, what actually moves price is money inflow, right? Is money inflow. Now, let's discuss a potential bullish scenario here where we do not see the Fourier cycle be respected, but we see the uptrend continue into 2026. This area right here, the bottom of the range, the Trump wins the election range, low to mid 90s, very important. If we start to come down here and we start to see a bounce and the Fourier cycle is broken and we're going to continue in an extended uptrend, that's going to be the place. Now, I think we should also keep our eyes on precious metals right now. The reason why is because precious metals are assets that people go into when they don't trust the fiat currency, because fiat currency is fake, right? It's just an idea that everyone has agreed upon, right? It's like, for some reason, everyone has agreed, you know what? These worthless pieces of paper that are probably, the paper itself is probably worth more. It's very strange. Like the pennies, the actual metal in the penny was worth more than 1 cent. That's why they stopped making pennies. It's just such a weird system, right? People are putting their money into gold. People are putting their money into silver. I almost feel that right now, because Bitcoin is digital gold in a sense, and digital silver. It's the closest thing you can get to a proof of work asset, right? You can't have gold unless you literally go and dig it out of the earth until alchemy is a thing. Same with silver, right? Once we see gold kind of stop getting this massive pump, I think Bitcoin could have its day, right? How long is that going to take? I'm not sure. But this gold rip is absolutely insane. And it is absolutely unsustainable. There's no way it can continue like this without some kind of a pullback. All right? Whether the pullback is a back test of 3,500, which right now is the major support resistance flip that we have right here, that previous major all-time high. All right? Whether or not the pullback is to there, or maybe even a bit lower. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. Let's actually just take a quick look here at this gold cup and handle here. Right? let's get ourselves a measurement. Let's get ourselves a good measurement of the target, because I think we're far past the target. Wow. That is insane. Yeah, we are far past that target. So this really is unsustainable here on gold. And so when gold starts to range and consolidate, then we might see Bitcoin have its day, right? And it might line up where the beginning of 2026, still kind of respecting that 4-year cycle time frame, but maybe not as crazy of a pullback as it has. I'm open to a pullback of 70%. Please don't get me wrong. But all I'm trying to say is, if for some reason, just like how this cycle was different, where the Fibonacci Golden Pocket, instead of giving us a 60% pullback, like happened every other time, only gave us a 20% pullback, well, maybe now, the end of the 4-year cycle, instead of giving us a 70% pullback like usual, is going to give us a 25% pullback, which will put us right into that key $96,000 zone. Or maybe it gives us more of like a 45-ish percent pullback to the high 60s, where we tap into that volume weighted average price. These would be the two major areas of interest in a bullish scenario where the 4-year market cycle is dead. These are two major areas to be interested in actually picking up Bitcoin on spot. Now, if the 4-year cycle is intact, which means, the top should be in very soon, around now or Q1 of 2026. If it's intact, then we do need to be ready for much lower Bitcoin prices. Okay? Much more, because if the 4-year cycle is still intact, we could see the 70% drop, and that's going to put us in the, I say, around a $40,000 Bitcoin, which I know a lot of people say could never happen, Jason. Could never happen. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that one. I can't tell you how many times I heard it could never happen. I can't tell you how many times people said we're never going to see the 70s again after we pumped up to 109K. And I was calling for it the whole time. Like, we're going to go with the mid to low 70s is going to be the major area. Oh, it could never happen. It could never happen. Okay. All right. So for me, this is how I'm going to be looking at the chart right now. Where, if we start losing the 200-day moving average, be watching for bullish signals at the low to mid 90s. If we don't see bullishness happening down there, we do need to be aware for that move down to the mid 60s, which is going to be major support. Now, there is a bullish case to be made even now. All right. There's a bullish case to be made even now, which is this. When we look at market Cipher B, what are we seeing here? We're seeing the potential for bullish divergence to print. All right. If we actually did just bounce and wick and bounce from that 200-day moving average, which also was a pretty key level of support, right? If we clear off the chart and we just look at where did we bounce from? We bounced from this little previous range, value area low. Look at that, almost to the exact dollar. We bounced from that previous range value area low. All right. So in a sense, you could say, we're back testing this very key support here. And, what needs to happen right now for a bullish scenario is two things. Thing number one is we need to hold above the level of $111,000. Okay, which currently we're not doing because that is the value area low of this range. But also, we need to start printing green dots on the daily market Cipher B. Because as we can see here, there is a potential that we are going to print a triple drive of, not a triple drive of divergence here, because this wasn't a divergence, but we're going to get that very nice looking bottom as we are now making this wick and then reclaiming the $111,000 area, right? Looking very juicy, like a juicy set of uneven butt cheeks. Very big on the left, skinny on the right. All right. Now, by the way, if you guys are looking for some eggs in the Discord, the code is asparagus. The code is asparagus. All right. In the Casper Crew Discord, we give away eggs for completing challenges for those who participate in the live streams and all that kind of stuff. And you can redeem those eggs for prizes. All right. You can redeem those eggs for prizes. In fact, last week we had some people win hundreds of dollars just by completing these tasks in the Discord. Now, it's free to join the Discord. All right, shout out to our winners. Shout out to Stone Axe. Shout out to It's Your Dad. Shout out to Wayne Mack. All right, Wayne Mack winning $200. All you have to do to claim your eggs is join the Discord. It's free. Link in the description. Go to quests and go ahead right here. Jason's public live stream egg drop. Click claim. You're going to type in the word asparagus. Asparagus. Go ahead and submit that. Now, I've been awarded 5 eggs because I'm a VIP. If you're in the VIP Discord, then you can get 5 eggs. If you're not, you can still get 1 egg. It's still a pretty dang good deal. All right. In the Casper Crew VIP Discord, where we give the trade setup in advance, let people know when we're taking the trades at jasoncaspertrading.com. You can get more eggs. All right. Also, guys, I do have to give a quick reminder about KCEX, best fees in the world. Very, very low. Plus, KCEX is giving away $21,000 of bonuses. I'm also trading on WEEX. Great deals, 50% future bonus, plus BLOFIN, 10% cash back, everything you deposit, low fees, and a chance to win. I mean, you could even win a chair, guys. Imagine that. Imagine sitting in a chair, how much your life would change. How much would my life change if I could sit in a chair instead of standing on a treadmill all day? All right? So these are some various scenarios that we do need to be aware of. And Bitcoin is currently right now getting a bit of a drop. All right, Bitcoin is currently right now getting a bit of a drop. Let's take a look at the lower time frames. So one thing I do want to say here, guys, is that, you know, we are currently right now trading in quite a bit of a sideways range right here. All right, this, ever since the drop, we have been ranging quite nicely. And we're coming back down to the low of that range. We're coming down right now to the low of that range, and we do need to be aware of the liquidity that we have been building below this range. And we do need to be aware, at least locally, for a potential fake out and then a reclaim of that. And then we could look to take it to the top of the local range, where we could look for a fake out, then move back into the range, right? It's actually what we would be looking for right now if we were scalpers, if we were scalp traders. You know, if I was a scalper, I'd be quite interested in coming down below this area. And speaking of that, let's take a look at the order flow chart and see what's happening here. Right, let's go to the 15-minute time frame. So, what is quite interesting here, guys, is it's slightly bullish CBD, but not quite. Not quite. Slightly bullish, but not quite CBD. But we have had quite a few shorts opening up recently here. All right, we have had quite a few shorts actually opening up recently. So let's see if Bitcoin wants to take that low here. I think I have a little bit of an alert set if the corn takes the low. All right. Let's see. And let's see what you guys think. Is Bitcoin going to take the low? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Bitcoin is going to take that low. Put a 0 in the chat if you think it's going to just pump from here. Shout out to Lolo in the chat. Shout out to Liberty and Trust. How do you get them rotten eggs? Just leave them in the chicken coop for months all summer, and then when you touch them, they'll explode in your face, and you'll smell like sulfur for the next 3 days. Shout out to Mark Santos. I paid subscription, set my account on the link, and nothing. Are you talking about for the VIP? Open up a ticket in the free Discord, man. We'll get you hooked. All right. Don't worry, we'll get you set up. It's gonna happen. Shout out to Beg Coins. Technically, it looks like 48K is a strong area. Yeah, that's in the event of a major move to the downside and the 4-year cycle being intact. Okay, look at this, guys. Bitcoin dropping, 5-minute time frame. Money flow coming out here on the 5-minute. Momentum coming down here on the 5-minute. All right. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Let's see. Let's check out the order flow. Now, this is aggregated, but we've got about 2.5 million shorts opening up right now in this one 15-minute candle. About 3 million shorts opening up in this one candle right now. People are shorting this low. People are feeling bearish. And let's see. We have a lot of ones here. A lot of people think Bitcoin is going to take the low. Major shout out to Felix H. He says, much love from London. Jay, learned so much from you. Well, God bless you, man. God bless you, Felix H. Shout out to AZTV. He says it's going to 97K to 102K. Yeah, I mean, that is a nice area of interest that we have on the chart, right? The $97,000. We've already discussed why that's such an important level. Right? $97,000. Super, super key level. All right, that's going to be our value area, our POC of this massive range right here. All right? And it's also right around that area. We've got our Fibonacci golden pocket. Okay? And, you know, we're losing value area high of this range. So, you know, that is going to be a very key area. And again, why is that going to be another reason why this is such a key area is because, you know, if the uptrend is going to continue here, historically speaking, below that 200-day moving average, that's when you want to be buying, right? And so we have this very important technical support underneath the 200-day moving average, where if this is going to be an extended uptrend, we're not going to see a massive dump. This is going to be a very, very, very important zone to be scooping up spot. All right, spot corn. Beat corn, beat corn, beat the corna. Beat the corne. Beat the corne. Let's go back down to our 12-minute. Let's see if it happens live here. Let's see if we take out this trend line live. All right. We got the Strugs. She looks like Bitcoin right now looks like she's loading up for a big old wick. Big dirty perp. Big dirty perp. Trying to give you the herp. Big dirty perp trying to give you the herp. All right. Just the way we're consolidating here. The way it's the slow grind. Big dirty perp just to give you a herp. All right. Hear the birds chirp. You guys hear the bird chirp? Shout out to Splashfire Film. Shout out to Mock membership. Down, then we'll go up. Yeah, I'm feeling that too, my man. I'm feeling that down too, Mock membership. Guys, make sure to smash the likes. Shout out to Arthur Furs. He says, Jason's the first YouTube trader comedian. Is that true? Is that true? Did I have trades liquidated on Friday? No, I didn't. I didn't have any trades liquidated on Friday. All my stop losses worked. But also, my stop losses were hit before that big wick down to 102. You know? All my stop losses were like around 116. I was in swing trades that I was adding to. I think... Yeah, I was stopped out of my long position around $116,000 when we lost that POC. For me, that was the line in the sand. I didn't have any issues. Didn't have any issues with stop losses. I had issues getting into positions. I was trying to long on KCEX when we got that big wick. Because honestly, this is not financial advice, but when you get a move like that and you take out massive lows like that, you're going to get a bounce. Like, you just know it, right? So I tried to long, but the soonest I could get in was here because I wasn't even logged in. I wasn't logged into Bybit, and I couldn't trade on any other exchange, so I had to actually log into Bybit to take a trade here, right? And I've locked in some profit, and really, I have a pretty crappy entry on this one. So I'm kind of watching to wait and see what happens at the fake out of this low here. If we get a fake out of this low, to maybe even add to this trade here, you know? But it's the way Bitcoin is moving right now, man. She is really looking like she's about to take that low. She's looking like she's about to take that low. We got some shorts opening up here. We've got longs ready to be liquidated. Look at this. You guys see this big increase of open interest here? All these longs. We had a lot of people long in this. They're currently underwater. 11 million longs opened up in this candle right here. They're still open. They're still open. 11 million longs there. Another 3 million. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 million longs. We got like 15 million longs that are currently under the water. They're just waiting. They're hoping we bounce, but probably they're gonna get liquidated or stopped out. All right. Do we have a heat map on here? We have the heat map. Why can't I see what's up with the heat map here? What's up with the heat map? Why does it look like that? You know. Let's see here. Let's see. I like what I'm seeing. I like how we're getting this pump here. Just to trap some more longs. Let's trap some more. Let's get a big old green candle. Everyone thinks this is the bounce, but nope, we're gonna dump more. Come on. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Yeah, I'm not a financial advisor. Look, I want to take the low. Is there a chance we make another higher low like we did back here, even though everybody was waiting to take the low? Yep. Yep, everyone was waiting to take the low back here too. I was too. Actually, I wasn't. I wasn't trading on Tuesday. What day was Tuesday? Yesterday? I wasn't trading yesterday. No, it was a holiday. I wasn't trading. But yeah, I'll bet you everyone was waiting for it out. But now we built up more liquidity here. Look at this too. I mean, market Cipher B would look very nice if we do come down to there. Look at how market Cipher B would look, man. I'm telling you. 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 We would have some nice direction here. Some nice divergence here. Multiple drive, money flow coming up. All right. Let's see. Let's see if we don't get a fake out of that level. Come on, baby. Shout out to Harry in Motion. Binance and Coinbase charts are different. Yep. Is it wrap time? I don't know. We don't even have 500 likes. If we can get 1,000 likes, I'll do a rap freestyle. And all right, here's the deal. If we can get 1,000 likes by the time we've been streaming for an hour, which is in 13 minutes, I'll give away $500 and I'll do a freestyle rap. Let's see. Did we get our retweets here? Let's see. Are we going to do our $250 giveaway? We're halfway there for our $250 giveaway. For our $500 giveaway, we need to get 1,000 likes, which means not even everyone has to like the video in the next 12 minutes. And then we'll do a nerdy white boy freestyle rap with a $500 giveaway. All right? All right? Because that's what you guys came here to see, right? A nerdy white boy freestyle rap. You didn't come here for the crypto, right? You came here for the nerdy freestyle rap. ETH is struggling with the $4,000 level here. $4,000 for ETH is very key. More specifically, it's actually 4,063. And here's why. All right. Let's take a look. Actually, let me set a timer so that I know when to check for the likes. You can see that this level on ETH, the $4,063 level, actually maybe you can't see because this chart is an absolute mess. This is the fair value zone of basically the entirety of 2024 and 2025. So it's a 2-year range. And essentially, guys, holding below this level is very not good. So right now for ETH, the two major levels to pay attention to is going to be 3,500, which is the value area high in the POC of the macro going all the way back, our 4-year range value area high, and our local range POC. And then, again, we need to reclaim 4,063 if we want hope of upside. Now, I would say this. What we could see happen here is a higher low be made. Now, this is the daily time frame. There's really not much here. Bullish, because we haven't even made a higher high in the daily, right? We basically made a lower low. So far, we made a lower high. If we start to bounce and either like fill the wick or come back into here and make a higher low, that could give us quite a bullish scenario, because just like how we're waiting for Bitcoin to take those lows because we've been building up liquidity, Ethereum is building up liquidity over these highs, right? A very squeezable event. If ETH can make a higher low and can reclaim 4,065, that's going to look like this, right? Once that happens, now we have ourselves an official change of market structure from the bearish to the bullish, right? Because we've made a higher high. And then we can easily squeeze the extra cheese. Baby, please. I love to eat peas and rub it on my knees. You know? And really, 3,500 is super, super, super key for ETH. I'm going to take off our 200-day moving average. That's less relevant for ETH here. But you can see how easily we could come back to 2,800 if we're not going to hold 3,500. ETH, the levels are much more clear because the moves happen so quick, right? Because the moves happen so quick. This is dangerously close to making a lower low here on like our weekly time frame for ETH, man. Not something I want to see. Like I said, with Bitcoin, this is either going to be an extremely bullish or bearish event. Again, why could this be bullish? Well, because we came to bounce from the weekly order block. We came to bounce from the 4-year value area high. And we could then look at this as, okay, ETH, what did ETH do? She got a breakout and she got a back test with a big wick. And if we make a higher low here, we start to come back above 4,065, we'd say, wow, 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 wow. That is a very bullish looking chart. Okay, we have a big impulse to a higher high with a thorough back test. And then we've reclaimed once again key level, 4,065. And then we have a very squeezable event right here, which really means, you know, we could even look at this as a potential bull flag here, popping us up to around a $7,000 ETH, man. You know, let's do another little thought experiment here. Let's take it from that low. Okay, why am I doing this? You might think, Jay, why are you even bothering with this? I'll tell you why I'm bothering with this. Because our Fibonacci targets for another leg up on ETH is going to be right around our 1.618 Fibonacci extension, which is going to be coming in right around that $8,500 level. So, now if we're looking at this like a basic old bull flag here, the technical target of the bull flag lines up very nicely with some of these key fib levels. And also, this little bull flag here, like taking it from this impulse that we made in June 2025, that's going to line us perfectly, not perfectly, but pretty much very close to our 1.272 fib extension. So, if we do form this bullish pattern here and make a higher low and we're reclaiming 4,065, you know, that is very bullish. It looks like we're going to squeeze these highs, which means, of course, that we're going to be breaking out of a massive 4-year resistance. And yeah, we're most likely going to have some serious follow through, right? And with ETH moves, it moves. I mean, look at what happened from June until September, right? When she moves, she moves. When I move, you move. Just like that. Look, wow. Just a few months, 200%. It's not so crazy to think that when we break out of that, we could see in 40% to 75%. Is that so crazy? If in the last few months we saw ETH get 250% gains, is it so crazy to think we have another 75%? I don't think so. I really don't think so. All right, we're so close to getting 1,000 likes for a white boy rap and a $500 giveaway. Where do I check order flow in CBD? Right now I'm using Market Monkey, which is actually a really great platform here. I have a link in the description for Market Monkey. All right, affiliate link. I think you get a discount for it. I'm not 100% sure, actually. I got to check. But Market Monkey has replaced EXO charts. EXO is unusable now, and I really like Market Monkey. It's actually a much better platform than EXO. You can draw on the chart, you know. You can pull fibs. You can draw rectangles. You can paint stuff, you know. It's got awesome stuff in here. It's got a ton of awesome indicators, and they have community indicators. Like, people can make indicators, you know, all this stuff. They got awesome heat maps. They got the TPO, all that kind of stuff. They have a really cool heat maps, liquidation heat maps. The candles. I mean, you could do the footprint clusters. You know, if you want to look at the delta clusters here, like EXO does as well. It's nice. I like it a lot. Look at that. You can get the fixed range volume profile on here as well. You know. You know, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It's honestly, maybe someday I'll use this instead of TradingView, honestly. But I need to get used to it first. I'm really, it's hard for me to get used to new stuff, all right? Jason Casper, it's hard for him to get used to new stuff. But they even got Hike and Sheet candles on here. You know, this is what TradingView should be. It's just a little bit different than TradingView, you know. It's a wee bit different than TradingView. Just a wee. But alright, so this is the 1 minute chart. Bitcoin, I think we're going to come down a little bit lower. We're even building a little bit of bearish CVD right just locally here. Nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy. We had some really bearish CVD right here. You know, this whole way down so far, we've seen bearish CVD, increase of open interest, a lot of people longing the way down. We've seen a lot of longs opening. I feel like they need to get really wrecked. I feel like they need to get really wrecked. Need to get really whacked. Really whacked. Guys, we're 200 likes away from a $500 giveaway. Just smash the dang like. Shout out to Divine Hood. He says, I'm looking for BTC to take out the Coinbase low at 107 in the next week or two. Yeah, that's a great level. Fill that wick on Coinbase. Coinbase is the chart that is, I think, an accurate representation of what should have happened here. Right? Because, you know, really, what were we all super aware of? That we've literally been aware of the level since July, which was the low of this range here, right? Before this move up, I was expecting that we came a little bit lower, right? So Coinbase did what we've been waiting for it to do for a long time. Coinbase took the high, Coinbase took the low, right? And of course, this wick, filling the wick would be a really nice opportunity for the market to say, collectively, across all exchanges, because, you know, KCEX, for example, wicked all the way down to 107, 101, 700. Isn't that crazy? So filling the Coinbase wick would allow all the exchanges to say, okay, 107 is support, you know, right? And we could see KCEX say, okay, you know, 107, that's the real support. You know, this low is the real support. This wick was a liquidation event. This is the real support, right? I'm even open to come a little bit lower, maybe. But yes, I think that's a very important level, Divine Hood. And guys, if you're not subscribed to Divine Hood, go subscribe to Divine Hood. He's got a great YouTube channel. All right, he's got that fire. He's got that fire in his soul. What's the low, says Doogie? Oh, Dougie, not Doogie. The current low that I'm looking at here is like 109.3-ish, 109.4-ish. Around Town 27 said, I had a dream that my college girlfriend woke me up this morning. I might call her. That's always weird. I never had a girlfriend in college. Never. Not one. In fact, every single girl I asked out in college gave me... Every single girl I asked out in college did not go out with me. Let's just put it that way. Our Pink is eating peas right now. That's what's up, bro. Can't go wrong with the peas, baby. And Lolo loves to eat cheese and rub it on the knees. That's what's up. All right. We've been streaming for an hour. Oh, crap. Guys, we're just 100 likes away. Let's just get another 100 likes. Let's get 100 likes, and then we'll do the $500 giveaway. All right, we'll do the $500 giveaway anyway, man. We'll do it anyway. Okay, we'll do it anyway. All right, I'm just feeling a $500 giveaway. You've never had a girlfriend, either a plain woman, call me their boyfriend. That's so funny. That's so funny. Clay the Great. That's funny. All right, we'll do the giveaway anyway, but smash up the likes. Let's still get it to 1,000, guys. Let's still get it up to 1,000. Let's go down to our low time frame here and watch the Bitcoin price. Man, she looks like she's gonna get that big old wick, that big dirty perp to give you the herp. You want a so girlfriend? You want a girlfriend in college until you realize all girls were DTF? Well, the thing is, I never went to college, so I never had a girlfriend in college. You know? But, my ex-girlfriend is now my wife. So she used to be my girlfriend, now she's my wife. She's also my ex-fiance. Alright, well, let's see. Did we get the likes? Yeah, we got them. We got them. Thank you guys for the likes, man. I appreciate you guys. You know, it's just like I said, my self-worth is wrapped up in likes. Is the long still valid from 111,500 with stop loss 109? I'd say no. I mean, yeah. Sure. Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, sure. I think it's a pretty risky one because the whole idea of that trade, 115, what was it? Oh, 111. Yeah, but remember, the whole idea of this trade is that we're going to make a higher low. All right, so yes, it's still valid. And if you're using good risk management, great. Because look, is there a chance that we make higher lows here? You know, yeah, of course. There's a chance we make higher lows, for sure. But what are the probabilities right now? I say it's probably more probable that we make a lower low. Okay, let's see on X, on Twitter. I hate calling it X. I hate calling it X. Okay, so we'll do a $500 giveaway. All right. Let's do a $500 giveaway today. All right, what do you say? What do you say? $500 giveaway? $500 giveaway? What do you say? Also, guys, make sure to join the Discord. If you like giveaways, join the free Discord or the VIP Discord. The VIP is where we give the trade setups in advance, let you know when we're taking the trade, like the juicy short that's up $20,000 in profit. If you join the VIP Discord, you get more eggs. If you join the free Discord, you can still get eggs. But right now, in the Discord, you can claim eggs by joining the Discord, going to the quests channel right here, and just typing the word asparagus. Click claim and type the word asparagus, and you'll get eggs. These eggs are redeemable for prizes. All right, you could win $200, $50, $100, free VIP giveaways. All right, all this kind of stuff. All right, check it out. All right, let's do a giveaway. All right, here's what we're gonna do for the giveaway. Here's what we're gonna do for the giveaway. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do for the giveaway. Okay. For the giveaway, I want you guys to go into the YouTube chat. All right, and just spam your USDT address. All right, just spam your USDT address. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna count down from 10. Let me move myself over here. I'm going to count down from 10. I'm going to go ahead and select. I'm going to screenshot one of you guys, and that's going to be the winner, all right? Spam your USDT address. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see who the winner is. The winner is Irish Dutchman. All right, Irish Dutchman, congratulations. I've got you right here. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. me go ahead and copy that. Paste it in my thing here. All right, cool. The Irish Dutchman, congratulations, you just won $500. Congratulations to the Irish Dutchman who just won $500. All right, you know what, man? I'm gonna send it to you right now. I'm gonna send it to you right now, bro. Right from my phone. That's what's so great about crypto. Don't have to call the bank. Don't have to do a wire transfer. Don't need anything. Just need a phone. And you also need $500. All right. Let's see here. Paste your address. Man, what a cool thing, winning $500 on a YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. Who else gives away $500? Not a lot. Not a lot of people do that, I'll tell you. I know some do. I know some do. All right, let's see here. All right, boom. Successfully sent $500. Successfully sent 500. Wow, would you look at that? Would you look at that? That's amazing. That's cool. Withdrawal details, $500. That's amazing, man. It's amazing. That's so cool. It's processing. It'll be done soon. It says processing. Shout out to our winner. You know? $500. I hope you take that $500, 500x leverage it on a trade, and long the exact bottom. All right, 500. That would be about $250,000. I hope you long the exact bottom of Bitcoin, and I hope you make. I hope like 100% gain. All right. I hope you end up with $500,000 from this. All right. May you end up with $500,000 from this long trade, this hypothetical long trade that you're about to take. All right. Congrats on our winner. Congrats on our winner. Because I got up. La da 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 da. I don't get it. Why do you never get the giveaways, Devil Killer? I think it's because there's 1,300 people in here and you have a 1 out of 1,300 chance. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to John Ploney. Where do we go from here, T-Crypto? I think we take out this lower trend line. I'm hoping that we make our way down below this level here. And then what happens here, I will be looking for a reversal, or I'll be looking to come down a bit lower, and maybe we do see Coinbase fill that wick or retest 107-ish. You know, this is the Coinbase chart here, by the way. BTW. Is there another giveaway? Oh, right, wrap time. Yeah, I'm supposed to. Shout out to Sudeep in the chat. Shout out to Peter Thor. Our Pink says it's a horrible idea to do a $500x leverage. Shout out to Aaron G holding it down with the wrench. God bless you, bro. You got 3 invites from me. They're all fake. They're all fake. I don't have time to invite people into my server, bro. You know, I don't even have time to do this live stream right now. What the heck am I doing? You know, just kidding. But yeah, no, that's definitely not me. It's not me. All right. All right. Are we gonna take the low? Are we gonna take the low? Do another giveaway, $1 for every like. Nah, someone's gonna put a like bot on the stream. Any chance that is a messed up left shoulder and we see an H and S target of 103? Yeah, there is a chance of that. I would rather, you know, it sucks because I was hoping to come up a little bit higher, you know? And yeah, it's possible. I'm hoping we do something like this. I'm hoping we get a fake out of this, then back into the range, and tomorrow we're here again. You know, this is where I'm looking to make my money in the next few days, you know? Really, to be honest. About to be honest with ya. And look, this morning we gave our VIP trading plan, and as I always try to do, if I give a trade setup in the Casper Pro, I always try and let the community know when I decide to take the trade. You know, I haven't really taken many trades lately. Ever since this big drop Roni, because we've been in Chop City. And the only real trade I'd say you could have taken here was the bounce from the Fibonacci Golden Pocket locally, right? From that first big wick, Fibonacci Golden Pocket. That was the only, like, nice trade. Hoping we would come up a little bit higher to 117 for a short, but we didn't quite have that steam. And it looks like we want to chill here a little bit longer. I do feel in my bones that we're going to take these lows. I hope we do. I feel it in my bones. All right, the bones are feeling bony. Gold traders are eating well, seriously. You know, I for sure am a big... There's a lot of sugar food in the U.S. compared to food in the U.K. Yeah, I'm pretty sure America is the most unhealthy country in the world, honestly. And I am a very healthy eater. I don't eat any sugar, except, actually, last night, I had a cannoli. And it was excellent. But other than that, I typically don't eat anything with sugar, and I eat just 100%... I can't say 100% whole unprocessed foods, because I do eat protein powder, bone broth powder, that's processed. I eat peanut butter powder, which is processed. It's literally just single ingredients for both of those things. Yeah, I pretty much, honestly, I probably eat like 95% whole, unprocessed foods. Potatoes, eggs, meat, dairy, fruits and vegetables, beans. I eat a lot of pseudo grains, and rarely will I have some sprouted wheat, maybe some sprouted oats, or popcorn. I'm sorry. Popcorn, yeah. But yeah, America's very unhealthy, honestly. When I eat sugar now, do I feel the rush? I feel like crap, honestly. If I eat real sugar, if I have like a bowl of ice cream, the next day I have the sugar hangover. I don't know if it's because I'm old or what. I think it's just because I think it's because I push my body so hard. Is why when I was in my 20s and I was like a lazy piece of garbage, just sitting there all day smoking pot, going to the gym 4 times a week just to say I'm going to the gym, do a few sets and then walk to Taco Bell after because I was high in the gym. I feel like now where I'm like literally every day when I go to the gym, I mean, I'm giving it my all, you know, and I walk like 30,000 steps a day, and I do multiple cardio sessions a week, and I have a homestead where I'm constantly outside moving all day. So I think just now, because my body is used to running on the high octane fuel, if I give it the crap fuel, I notice the difference. What did I eat today? I had chicken and eggs with some arugula and some broccoli sprouts and some yellow squash and some butternut squash. And I had some full-fat Greek yogurt from the local farm with blueberries. That's what I had for breakfast. What were we going to talk about before we started talking about diet? We were going to talk about something important, right? Man, I hope we don't pump from here. That would really suck. It's not a good look to pump from here, honestly. It's a much healthier look to take that low. Jacob says recovering. Honey is great. I haven't eaten honey in a while. I probably should. Did I say eggs? Oh yeah, Red Elephant, you know it. Yeah, we did drop the code, man. The code is asparagus. The egg code is asparagus, man. Portion size as well. Yeah, I'm a huge portion size eater. I mean, honestly, like, it's very rare that I eat a meal that has less than like 1,700 calories. I'm usually a 2 meal a day kind of guy. Each meal like between 2,000 and 2,500 calories. 2 meals a day, between 4,000 and 5,000 calories, you know. If it starts pumping, we'll have a massive bull div on the 4 hour. I don't think so. No, we won't. That's the problem. That's the problem. The problem is if we start pumping from here, we won't have the bull div on the 4 hour. You know. We need to take some lows to get some bull divs. You know. That's the real problem. You're 23 and you want to start working out? Well, that's the best time. It's the best time to start. Best time to start. All right. You fast 16 hours daily? I kind of do that as well. I don't try to. It just works out that way. Asparagus is a safe word. All right, guys. I love you all. May the Lord bless you all. I have to head out. All right, I'm on kid duty in about 13 minutes. But I love you all. May the Lord bless you all. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell, and I will see you, Lord willing, tomorrow. Peace.